Well, hello there and welcome back to my channel, or of course welcome to my channel if you're new. If you are new, make sure you put that subscribe button on and also put the notification bell on so you're notified of every single time that I upload. Now for today's video, I'm going to be showing you all the makeup that's in my foundation and concealer drawer. This is just ongoing from my makeup collection videos. I did upload a video on my primers, setting sprays and eye bases. I will link that down below. Today we are doing this drawer, so let's get into it. Okay, so this at the front is just where I keep my sponges. So I have the one that I'm currently using in this little egg thing. I think you can get these on eBay or Amazon. I have a Juno & Co sponge that obviously is brand new, haven't used that yet. I have a Jeffree Morphe sponge with the little sponges. I have a Real Techniques round sponge. I have this ABH sponge, which I probably won't use, but maybe for cream contour actually. And this one looks rank, but it's just a powder sponge by Real Techniques. It's meant to apply your powders much better. So that's the front of my drawer. We can now move on to foundation. So I have a nice mix of high-end and drugstore. Let's just jump into it. Firstly, I have this Revlon Candid foundation. Admittedly, this is not my favourite foundation, but for when I want to wear a natural makeup look, I'll definitely use this one. Which is never, by the way, because I don't wear natural makeup. But anyway, I have this one. I have a few by Revolution. This is one of them. I have the matte base foundation in the shade F3. I really like this one. It's not my favourite from Revolution, but it is really good and it's super affordable. I think it's £5. So yeah, I really like this, and I mean I've used a lot of it as well. This is the Morphe foundation. I was so surprised when I tried this for the first time. I really like this. I think it's £15. But it is very good. I have mine in the shade F1.50. It is a matte foundation, so if you don't like matte foundations, you're not going to like this. But for someone who has an oily combination skin type, you're going to really like this. I have the MUA Pro Base Longwear Matte Foundation. This is one of the most long-lasting foundations I have ever tried. And trust me, I have tried my fair few of foundations. And this one lasts pretty much this is one of the foundations that lasts the longest on my combination skin, and I get a oily skin T-zone. Why can't I speak today? So yeah, I really like this, and it's only a £5. You know, can't get much better. And I have mine in the shade 110. Another matte foundation I have is the Primark one. This is very good. I don't have the Estee Lauder one to compare this to, but apparently it is a dupe of that. It is very good. It has SPF 15 in it, and it is a matte finish, and I really enjoy it. I just absolutely hate the packaging because this is like a screw top. There's no pump. It's very annoying, but I do like the foundation. This is one of my favourites at the minute. I keep coming back to it. It's the L'Oreal Infallible 24-Hour Matte Cover. Mine is in the shade Vanilla Rose, or Rose Vanilla. And yeah, this is really good actually. It's not too matte, so it's not super drying or anything. And I just really like the formula. The packaging is good and travel friendly. I think this is £10. So affordable, but I really enjoy it. I also have this Rimmel Lasting Matte Foundation. This isn't my favourite, but it is a decent drugstore one. It's got more of a moussey texture. Have mine in the shade True Ivory. I think this is about £8. If you've got oily skin, you might like this actually. It's definitely not my favourite formula, but it is probably one of my favourite Rimmel foundations. I have the Collection Lasting Perfection Foundation, which is my newest one in my collection. I recently did a video where I did full face first impressions. It has SPF 30 in it, which is good. And this says it's a matte foundation, but it's more of a demi matte, to be honest. It doesn't completely dry down. It does give you more of a dewy sort of finish, but I do like the foundation formula. Very similar to the concealer if you have that. So yeah, if you like the concealer, definitely check this out. They have just repackaged everything, by the way, so this is the brand new packaging. Maybelline Superstay, I feel like this is such a classic and so many people have this foundation. It is £9.99 and it is a good foundation. I think it was Sophia's Life's favourite for a very long time, but to be honest, it's not my favourite foundation. I definitely prefer my MUA one to this, but it is decent. It's just not my favourite. I do use it every once in a while. have my two XX Revolution foundations. This one is my favourite. This is the Double Fix foundation. I have mine in the shade FX2. It's a very good foundation. It's not matte or anything, so if you prefer matte foundations, you won't like any of these. This is more of a demi matte finish, but I definitely prefer this one over this one, which is, looks very weird. Is the what's this called? It's just their luminous one. I think it's the Glow Fix, that's it. Love the packaging, although both of these foundations have like a silver pump, so if you had both of them, just make sure you don't lose the lids, otherwise you won't know what foundation you're using. Again, have this in FX2. These are £15 each, so they are more on the pricey side, but XX Revolution is more pricey. And then these are my other foundations. I have two more Revolution ones. I have the Conceal and Define. Without a doubt, this is one of my favourite foundations I have in my whole entire collection. I just absolutely love the formula. I always come back to this. Have mine in the shade F3. I do go between F2 and F3, depending on what shade I want to buy that day. But yeah, this is one of my favourite. Not the best packaging, but the formula is amazing. Then for any of my dry boys and gals, this is so good. I've got this in F6, which is a little bit too dark for me. But whenever I'm having a dry spell, because sometimes my skin goes through phases of being really dry, I will always come to this foundation because it's so good and the coverage is absolutely amazing. I think these are both like £9 and they are so good. So yeah, definitely if you've got dry skin, you need to check this out. And then these are my free high-end foundations. I mean, I don't have a lot of them because I can't afford to constantly buy high-end foundations, but have my Huda Beauty one, which is probably my favourite high-end foundation just because it's more suited towards my skin type. I have the shade Angel Food 110, which is really, really pale, but it's the only shade they had available when Huda Beauty did their huge like Black Friday sale. I think it was like £13.50 at the time when I bought this, which is actually insane. I really, really like this. The formula is probably best for my skin type because these two are luminous foundations. You guys know how much I love these. So this is the NARS Natural Radiant Longwear. Have mine in the shade Mont Blanc. Whenever I want my skin to look like flawless, I'll go to like these foundations because they are absolutely incredible. I got this free because I saved up my glossy credits and used it on Look Fantastic. And yeah, I think this is about £30, but I paid absolutely nothing for it, which I was really happy about because I think this was my first high-end foundation that I'd bought. And yeah, this is so good. I love the formula of it. It is very similar though to the ABH one, so if you can't afford to buy this one because this is so expensive, this is actually like £43. So if you don't want to buy this one, this one is like a tenner cheaper and it's so good. Very, very similar. They're both like luminous foundations. If you're wondering, I'm in the shade 130N. And yeah, I love this. I only use it though when I'm having short days. I wouldn't wear this on a long day because it wouldn't last very long. But yeah, those are all my foundations. Okay, moving on to concealers. I have just recently done a declutter. I don't know if that's going up. I would have thought it goes up before this one. So I did have more, but I have just recently did a big declutter, so that's why there's not as many as I usually have. So I have a mix of high-end and drugstore in here. So just to start off, I have the Revolution Conceal and Define Infinite Concealer. This is one of my favourite drugstore concealers, to be honest. It's very, very good. I think it's a little bit better than the normal Conceal and Define, which I did declutter because it had run out. This only has a little bit less, so I think I'm going to buy the XL version. Oops. I have this Morphe concealer. I think this is in the shade 1.55. I think Conceal and Define, I have that in the shade C3. This is very good, very hydrating. It's very affordable as well. I think it's £10. So it's not the most affordable, but it's definitely cheaper than high-end concealers. So if you like hydrating concealers, you'll like this one. I have two XX Revolution ones, if I can find the other one. There we go. I have two XX Revolution ones. As you can see, one is more pink, one is more yellow. I have it in CX2 and CX 1.5. This is a very good concealer, by the way. Again, if you like your hydrating concealers, you're going to like these, and that is very good coverage. And I also really like the applicator. I have two e.l.f. ones. I have the e.l.f. hydrating concealer, which is so good. I think this is about £8, I want to say, £7 or £8, but it is absolutely incredible if you're looking for a drugstore hydrating concealer. As you can see, I like my hydrating concealers just because I wear more of a matte base with my foundation, but this is so good. I really enjoy this. And then the e.l.f. Camo is not my favourite, to be honest. It dries down really quickly. If you've got oily skin, you'll really like this, but for me, it just dries down too quickly and it's really hard to blend out after, so it's not my favourite. I definitely prefer the hydrating one. I have my Jouer concealer, which again, very good hydrating concealer. If you can get this on sale, I definitely recommend it. I think I mean, I got this in a shade that's too dark for me, so it wouldn't be very helpful if you have a similar skin tone. But yeah, this is so good. Make me not miss her. Maybe buy this because she absolutely raved about it, and because I got it on sale, I think it was £11 when I bought it. It's normally about 16, 17. I was very happy about that, and it is so good. Very good hydrating formula. Do you notice a pattern in the types of concealers that I buy? Very good. It is high end, very good quality. How many times do you want to say very good? I don't know. Let's just move on to the next concealer. Opposite end of the spectrum, I have this I Heart Revolution Heartbreakers concealer. If this isn't meh, this is not my favourite. The only reason I kept this is because it's a different type of formula to what I usually use. So this is a very this has a very thin consistency. It has no coverage, and yeah, it's just, I don't know, it's just not my favourite. If you're a younger person, don't need much coverage, don't like to wear too much concealer, then this is definitely a good one to go for. You get so much product in here, by the way, as well. You get 12ml, and I think this is about £4 or £5, I can't remember, but it's very good, very much towards the younger audience, basically. So yeah, definitely not my favourite. If you like coverage, do not buy this concealer. I have two NARS ones because my auntie gave me one that she didn't want to use, that she didn't use anymore, and I had one from before, which, to be honest, I should probably chuck my one away. But this is a very nice concealer. It's not my favourite high-end concealer, but it is very nice, very like everyday sort of concealer. It hasn't got super full coverage or anything, and yeah, it's very hydrating, so I like this one. It's just not my favourite. I have my Jeffree Star Magic Star. I know he's very controversial at the moment, but this is a very good, again, hydrating, high-end, full coverage concealer. If you can get it on sale, I definitely recommend it because you only get like 3ml of product in here, and £21 for 3ml is just not it. Like, that is a lot of money for such little product. So if you can get this on sale or buy it off of someone, I definitely recommend it because it is a very good formula. It's just, I just don't think it's worth the money. I have my Revolution Conceal and Hydrate Concealer. Again, if you love your hydrating concealers, this is very good. It's very affordable as well, so if you can't afford to get some high-end hydrating concealers, I definitely check out this one and the e.l.f. one because they are really good. I have the Urban Decay All-Nighter, which if you go back to the very beginning of my channel, this is probably the second or third video I ever did, which means I should probably chuck this away because I started my channel over 2 years ago, but the coverage on it is that good, and this is so expensive that I can't part with it because it's just so good, and obviously just brings back some little sentimental memories because Frank actually bought this for me so I could review it on my channel. So yeah, I can't get rid of this. If you want a very thick consistency, full coverage, this is your gal. You need to get this. I have my Collection Lasting Perfection Concealer. This is an absolute classic. We go back years. I've been using this for so long. I've probably bought like 3 or 4 of these now. They're just so good. They have just recently repackaged this also. I'm definitely going to repurchase this when it runs out because it is amazing. I think this is only £4 as well, and I have mine in the shade Fair 1. They have got new shades as well. This is the Rimmel Lasting Matte Concealer. Now this has snuck its way back into my collection. I did declutter this ages ago, but I did think to myself, I only tried it once, and the one time I tried it I really didn't like it, and that's why I decluttered it. However, I do need to give this a go at some point because I need to see if it's going to be like that with like every foundation, because if it is, then I'm going to get rid of it. But yeah, I need to give this another go. Nearly done. So I have this Bare Minerals Bare Skin Concealer. Again, my auntie very kindly gave me this. I haven't actually had a chance to use this yet, but I imagine that it'll be good. I don't really know much about this. It said it's got good coverage, so I just need to try this with a foundation I know that works for me. So I'll give this a go soon, and if I really like it, I'll let you guys know. And lastly, I have this Revolution Solid Concealer. I have mine in the shade Light Beige. I keep this just in case I need a solid concealer because it's the only one I've got. But yeah, that is all of my concealers. Let me just put this all back. That is as neat as we're going to get it, I'm afraid. These are all my foundations and concealers. Really hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, you're going to like the next one because this is my powders, bronzers and like small face palette. So make sure you stick around for that video. In the meantime, I really hope you enjoyed this. If you did, please smash the thumbs up button. Let me know if you enjoyed it down below in the comments. And of course, if you haven't already, please subscribe down below and I will see you in my next video. Bye.